Yo, what's Gucci, what's Fendi, what's poppin'? Brand new whip, nah fam, I just hopped in. Welcome back to the Psychology Podcast and welcome to the Mental Health Monday episode. And in this week's episode, I have another guest, special guest. Go way back with this guy, like way back. I feel old now, but he goes by the name Takunda, yes, and he thought he should just share his 2 cents on mental health and all of that. But before we get into the meat of mental health, I just wanted him to introduce himself. So Takunda, how are you, my guy?
I'm very well, brother. I'm good. Actually, it has been a long time, eh?
Yeah, it has been. Hey.
I've known you since you're a little boy. So.
Those are some facts.
So yeah, no, it's good being here. So my name, as you heard, it's Takunda Maziri. Right now, I'm currently in my third year studying, IT in computer science.
Yes,
doing a double major in network security and software engineering.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
About me?
How old are you?
Working on I'm 24 years old. For all the listeners, 24 young, young, healthy, good looking.
Okay. And then you said you're working on something.
Yeah. Right now I'm doing an industrial experience project. So basically we are creating a website for a client. Basically it's a e-commerce website, and for myself, I'm developing a business. Very much still at the beginning, but hopefully it grows from there. But it's a business. It's a digital marketing and web development company, and you'll soon hear about it as things progress. But that's what we're doing right now.
That's a beautiful thing, man, and I'm sure it'll work out. Definitely, Just gotta keep grinding and keep our mental health at stake. But anyway, today we're gonna be, obviously talking about mental health.
Yes, sir.
As we know, it's something that's been troubling people, I think, for the longest time. But now there's just a bit more awareness. So I'll have to start this off by saying, or asking rather, what is mental health to you?
Well, mental health, it's a topic that is very, how can I say, at this point in time, people don't really know too much about it. I mean, there's more awareness nowadays on mental health, But to me personally, I think I've had my fair shares of mental health issues in the past. I mean, we go through this life and we go through our unfortunate times, and that can put you in a state of mind that is not, pleasant, and you get into a rut, into a sort of routine that is mundane.
I feel.
So yeah. So I really feel like it's
continue.
I really feel like it's something that we need to definitely look into and have people have more awareness about it, and 100%.
Okay, so I'm trying to understand. So for you, mental health is basically when you get in a rut. Is that...
Okay, I think there's multiple ways of looking at it. Like mental health has a lot of faculties to it. You know what I'm saying? So
that's
from the research I've done, looking at, I came about a stat that was actually quite surprising, and it's told me that about 263 to like 300 million individuals worldwide live in depression, and the same amount live with anxiety related disorders,
Oh.
and you'll find out that these things, like, it's common in the world. It's not something that should be looked over, and people shouldn't. It's right in people's faces. You've got 50 to 60 million people with bipolar. You've got Kanye West out there who has bipolar, and a lot of people don't understand that situation. But 16 million people also living with eating disorders. So these things,
that's a deep one.
I wouldn't say like mental health is a thing that you can say it's perspective to one. I mean, people have different ways of coping with it, but I'm definitely 100% sure that if we do talk about it more and people have a platform to express themselves, they can actually become freer to share what they want to say.
Dog, you said a lot of interesting points there. There's so many ways we can sort of pass through it. So, in a nutshell, mental health, as you're describing, there's not one route to say this is mental health. There's just so many things, but all in all, it's something that affects more people than we think.
100%, bro. I feel like, so in the world we live in, you see many people stuck in the same routine, and they're miserable.
Like, what type of routine are we talking about here?
So basically, you find people get into a routine where they don't have necessarily an outlet, and they're repeating maybe bad habits and things that keep them in this rut, so to speak. And sometimes, a lot of people think that mental health is something that can be diagnosed. I mean, that isn't diagnosable and doesn't have a cure, but like a lot of people can get out of that. And the more we learn about the human mind and our emotions and how we able to express it, people get into, like I said, this routine whereby they don't feel there's anything else to do with themselves because they have nothing else to do because of the bad habits that they have. So my advice to someone who's in that place or is suffering from that would be, just try something new, just take yourself out of that comfortable place that you think you are in, that's making you feel like you can't wake up in the morning, like you don't have a reason to shower or, to do things that, push you and drive you. So you need to get out of that routine and find something new.
Okay, so before we go deep in the advice, I want to understand from Takunda's, from TK's perspective.
Okay.
When would you say you've had mental health issues? We can agree on that, yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so when was the sort of like the first time when you had mental health issues? You don't have to share the exact situation of what happened, but when was that? And firstly, how did you feel? And did you cope with it, or is it something that's still ongoing? Like, what? Tell me about that.
Okay. So for me personally, I've struggled with mental health mostly in my adult life. So maybe past the age of 17, 18.
Yeah.
So I've had a few like depressed times in my life where things weren't going my way. So you would have friends coming to you and telling you, hey man, let's do something, because they can see you're in this place that isn't you, but for me, I think people make the mistake in trying to hype you up, and I feel like because mental health is more of a personal problem. It's like someone has broken their leg, then someone hypes you up that, okay, you can run, you can definitely run, but my leg is broken, like I, only I can tell how I can help myself. I can get, and not only I. The thing is also you're not alone. You can definitely have people come and help you. So for me, in that moment, I knew I needed to, I needed to get out of that situation. Um, you need to get to a place where you looking for something to add to yourself, to add to your life, to give you that push, that drive that you once had. So I would say something, you need to get momentum, right? And you need to think about what are, like, you can start small, because you also need to realize where you are. You know what I'm saying? You need to realize, okay, I'm in a bad place. And tomorrow, what are 3 things that I'm going to do today? That I'm going to do tomorrow. And it's not about just acknowledging that, I'm going to do these things. You have to actually do these things. You have to, sometimes the first goal is, I'm going to shower, I'm going to shower today. And then I'm going to go to the library. And I'm going to go home. And that's all you have. That's all I had at some point. And when you're in that place, you need to know this is where you're at, and you need to acknowledge that.
Oh, so wait, I just want to understand something. For you, when you're going through these issues, your adulthood, life is lifing.
Yeah.
Are you saying you basically wrote down things that you thought could help be actionable for you to start doing? And if
yes,
so,
100%.
Could you give an example maybe of one thing, because someone may listen like, but wait, I'm still lost.
All right. An example could be, for me personally, like, I was not happy with like school at that time. My grades weren't looking great. And I felt like I was in this place where, my friends wanted me to do things. I didn't have the motivation because I wasn't happy with my state of where I was, from an academic perspective. I got myself in a bubble. I was spending most of my days just in my room. And, so one day I just decided, like, I need to change the situation. So one actionable thing that I did was, I started writing down a list. And then the first thing I wrote down, I was like, I need to definitely work on my projects, because I was now letting things go. They weren't, how can I say it? They weren't as important to me, because in my mind, I thought of myself as a failure.
Ooh.
So I got to that stage where I thought, okay, so tomorrow you wake up. First thing, wake up early. Don't be waking up at 9, 10. The day has passed you, 9, 10, 11. I had days where I'll just be waking up so late, and even when I wake up, I'm not feeling any motivation to do anything. The first thing I told myself is, start small. Wake up early in the morning. Wake up early. If you don't have something to do, find something to do. Because now, once you're awake, you can always look at what options you have. And the next actionable thing I did was to at least spend a few minutes with my friends, because I was getting distant. So I told myself, I'm going to visit a few of my friends. I went and did that. Funny enough, actually, that helped me. That kind of released this weird feeling of, okay, I'm not alone. And there are people here who actually enjoy being around me. And, that could come as a reason for you to actually progress and push on and find ways to actually better yourself. So, yeah, those were one of the few things I did. And day by day, it got better.
So, okay, what I'm getting from this is, for you, You seem like a person who prioritizes on action. And
100%.
from what I'm getting, just analyzing what you're saying is a
Yeah.
lot of people um stay in a mental health state of mind because they some they haven't taken actions that can require them to do certain things that will maybe occupy their mind and then open up their mind to say, something may not be as difficult as you may think it is, or it may not be as bad as you may think it is. I'm just trying to brainstorm from what you say.
You know, you know, mm, from that, I can tell you that one thing that a lot of people who feel like, okay, I'm in this position, and they try something new, and then they're like, it's because maybe the thing they're trying is actually harder than actually facing their issues. Because, for example, you when you're in that position, trying something new is always going to be difficult.
Yeah.
As much as you then get that sensation, it's only after you've kind of exposed yourself. You kind of gotten out of a place where you're comfortable and where you feel like, okay, tomorrow I don't need to do anything.
Yeah.
And when you get to that position, a lot of people cave in. A lot of people will be like, I tried it. I'm not really feeling comfortable. I don't think I'll do this again, and go back to the same routine. For me, I feel like bad days are going to happen. I knew that. I knew bad days. I started to realize that bad days were going to come,
Yeah,
but
true.
as long as I get my small wins, if I keep doing the small things, and it's better than, the day you didn't go to the library and the day you went to the library. Those are two completely different days, because why I say that is the day you went to the library has a massive effect on a lot of things that potentially could happen in your future.
Ooh.
Whereas the day you didn't is you've lost out on that opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
You've got to accept your small wins. So going to the library is a win, or doing something that you should have done. And it doesn't have to be a big task. You don't have to go and try get the hardest thing that's affecting you right now. You start with the small things just to get your routine in, and a good routine,
and boost your confidence.
And you see that the things, the bad days, because now you've got a system and you've got a routine of good things happening, the bad days lessen. I'm not saying they're not going to be there. You're always going to have bad days. That's life. But with the way you handle things, there is honor in the struggle, to achieve the things you want. And I think that's the essence of, trying to get out of that situation.
Wow.
That's how I look at it.
It's very interesting. It's just unfortunate our time is about to run out, but I think we left like 4 or 5 minutes. But real quick, what about in terms of now I'm talking man to man. I've noticed for guys expressing themselves, especially like, let's say for you're going through academic stresses and all that. Sometimes guys feel like it's hard to express themselves, whether it's to their woman or to other gents or whatever. How do guys navigate through that? Just being able to express it. What would you advise for a guy specifically?
Gents always have this thing of like, society has made us to not show our problems, to be always good, brush it off, walk it off, what I want to just say is that maybe, as guys, we do need that mentality. However, you need that mentality of strength, knowing that you're bigger than whatever you face. And that when you do express yourself, it's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of of acknowledging these stresses and how you want to overcome them. Because by expressing them, people can actually help you. And help isn't ever a sign of weakness. A lot of people, when Prince Harry came out with the depression, and I was very happy about that because it showed a lot of people that, it's not something that, only men that are, struggling and trying to make ends meet get. Even the Prince of England has depression, and that just, I think that was a good awakening call to a lot of people that, it doesn't matter what situation, you might have all the things you want, but you can still be depressed, So what I would say for a lot of gents that is that life happens, the unexpected, the uncalled for, the unintentional, a lot of us men have been damaged emotionally, spiritually, it may be our businesses, it may be our heart, it may be the number in our bank account, to be honest. Your bank account will be screaming, "Hey man, you broke." But the thing is, you can't break. You can break physically, you can break mentally, you can break your heart, you can break your spirit, and all those things are gonna leave a mark. But the mark that they leave can be the mark of victory or the mark of defeat. You know what I'm saying?
Quotable right there.
It's all about, staying with the breaking and what that breaking produces. It produces the blessings. The breaking produces the blessings. And a lot of men don't realize that you can break down, it's allowed. And, it's saying it's not that you go through, it's not the things that you go through that determines, where you end up. That's a lot of things that we need to realize. And it's also about who you listen to, because a lot of people, a lot of gents are walking in this like valley between like two voices, and one is wisdom, one is worry, one is gratitude, one is grumbling. But because every time you break, and in every way that you break, there's a chance for you to give up or for you to, to fall apart. But there's also an opportunity to get stronger, to get smarter, to get faster, get tougher, to get more stable, and to get more resilient, and all get better.
Wow, man. When you're saying this stuff, I'm like, yeah, just as a gent, there's obviously a lot of social pressures and all that stuff. But like you said, there is strength in expressing, just as long as you believe that you're not just saying things. You actually it's
coming from.
It's coming from?
It's coming from your genuine experiences, something that has broken you down, and you're trying to fix that.
Shout out to you, man. I really love that. Unfortunately, our time really has run out. But thank you so much. I think this episode, for me, it was more of a very, what can I say, insightful, in the sense that action. That's what I got from you. Action. Action equals reaction.
You need to take action.
And it's a beautiful thing. So I appreciate that, and I hope that whoever is listening to this, what you said, they can implement, and it will start helping.
Definitely, bro.
For their mental health and all that. But anyway,
yes, sir.
Before we leave, just plug your social medias. Maybe someone may want to ask you a question or two.
Okay. My social medias, you can follow me at Taku_Maz on Instagram. And Facebook, Takunda Mazuri, all those things, all the socials you if once you, mostly I'm on my Instagram, so
Yeah,
if you
so
want to get
Instagram.
yeah, at
Okay.
Taku_Maz.
Taku_Maz. Okay. Thank you so much, Taku. I hope
Cheers, bud.
with everyone that is listening, or as if you got to this part, you learned one thing or two. Like I'm grasping from what you said. So shout out to you, man. Hey, you know my handle at PsychoZW, SICOZW. If you got any questions, you can ask either one of us. Stay blessed, stay alive, and don't do drugs, kids. Please, 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 please.
Never do drugs.
Yeah, man. Peace.